going on, guys? This is Slimeboss here, and welcome back to the Fairy Fountain Podcast. I am joined by my usual co-host, Hylian Hero, over here.
It's been so long, I thought you've already forgotten about me.
Yeah, this guy, who, is this Ed Sheeran? I can't, okay, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Alright, well, we got some news to talk about. It's a little bit lighter this time. The big news comes next month, kinda, sorta, halfway there.
Kinda.
I mean, it was pretty good, but it hasn't happened yet.
The Big E3 Direct was great. We got Star Fox 7 announced.
Yeah, Star Fox 64 too.
Go to Shrek Swamp. It was great.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to start with the releases that we had this month first, and then we'll go into the actual news. We had Pinball. I'm just kidding. So we had 3 NES games, and actually wrote them down this time. We got Pinball, Congo's Caper, and Rival Turf, which I don't know what the other 2 are, but I'm very surprised Pinball hasn't been on the service already, because that's like it's technically a Mario game.
I thought it was.
I'm pretty sure it's a Mario game, but yeah, interesting to say the least. A little bit more important, we got Kirby 64, which is something I was speculating would come finally. I think I actually did say May, but
people were really upset that it wasn't in March alongside Star Allies. I never understood that mindset, because why would you put 2 Kirby games back to back?
Yeah, they're like, oh, it makes perfect sense. No, not really.
Yeah, to coincide with the release, sure, but you have that fear that people are going to go, well, I got a new Kirby game on MSO. I'm not going to buy a new one.
Yeah. Did you play that at all?
No, I haven't touched the NSO and 64 emulator since I think Majora.
Okay. I mean, I'm currently playing through Zelda Ocarina right now, so I do have plans to play Kirby 64, just not right now.
Well, I wanna get back in, finish off my Banjo file, go into the Zeldas, but right now I just finished up Xenoblade Definitive. I'm like tempted to go into Future Connected. I'm playing through the Cuphead DLC, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have time to play old games right now as much as I want to.
I haven't even gotten back to Xenoblade, so I think I'm gonna finish Splatoon first before I touch Xenoblade.
I wanted to get Definitive done before 3 comes out, so mission accomplished. I kind of wanted to replay 2, but I don't have time for that.
Yeah. Next up is the Jenny DLC, as well as I guess I can just include the announcement of Hugh Neutron, and was it Rocco was the last one?
Rocco. Yeah.
So Jenny's out. I haven't played her. I'm pretty sure she's the first of the paid DLC, so I haven't gone back to Nick All-Stars, so
I am waiting to pull the trigger on this game. I almost did when it was on sale for $20, but I don't know. I think I might when Hugh comes out, because oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah, I think it was mainly him and or the voice actor that was like, wait, because everyone wanted him in the game for some reason, so I guess his voice actor just pushed it. So
it is just so funny that we got him instead of Jimmy first.
Yeah, that's so. I mean, we also got Nigel Thornberry before we even got the main character girl or the other guy, the fucking monkey dude.
Well, they gotta finish the trifecta and give us Timmy's dad before Timmy.
Yeah. Timmy Turner's granddad? I'm just kidding. No. So this is only the first wave of DLC. I think after Rocco, I think there's 3 more after that.
Did they confirm a set amount?
I think so. I think they said it was like 2 or 3 waves. It was the free DLC, then the paid, and then there might be more after that. I'm not sure exactly how it's structured, but it's coming along.
I gotta wonder how this game is performing, because you really don't hear a lot of people talking about it.
I hear people talking about it when the DLC comes out, but I'm hoping it's a Fall Guys moment where it gets revived when all the DLC is done and dusted, and maybe they are.
I hope so, but I don't expect this game to be supported for too terribly long. I'm sure it sold at least 1 million copies, which for a game like that's very good. But
all I'm hoping for is maybe they try to make a sequel out of it with more money behind it, with more characters and stuff.
I think that's possible.
which would be a lot better, especially with multiverses on the horizon, which people are saying is looking better than Nick All-Stars. So, who knows?
I agree. I don't like really free-to-play stuff. Like Fall Guys was my exception, so I don't think I'm gonna pick up multiverses.
Yeah, I will only pick up multiverses if they put JoJo in it. Only if they put JoJo. Oh, I don't think I've actually.
I didn't know you were a JoJo Siwa fan.
No. What? That's not Warner Brothers. That's Nickelodeon. Technically, she is owned by Nickelodeon, but anyway, I got a tattoo. It's my first tattoo, and it's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So yeah.
I knew you told me, but I never saw it. It looks really good.
Thanks. Yeah, no, I will only buy multiverses if they add a JoJo character, because technically Warner Brothers does own JoJo in the West, so.
I will pick up multiverses if they actually do add Harry Potter and Ron, just because of the just craziness that would be to like fight Gandalf. But they haven't been in like the more recent leaks and stuff like that, so I'm not getting my hopes up.
Especially with the whole turmoil going on with whatever the other game.
J.K. Rowling.
Well, no, the
turmoil. Is there turmoil with Hogwarts Legacy?
Well, some people are excited for the game, but also like no one wants to support Harry Potter right now, so I don't know.
I'm picking that game up day one. I'm shocked it's coming to Switch. I need to see how that game performs on Switch, but I'm there day one.
We'll be talking about a lot of Switch ports next time.
Oh my gosh, yes we will.
And how fucking infuriated I am, but also excited. Alright, well, next up we get Pokemon Home 2.0 update, which happened this month as well. I think, or it might have happened in June. I think the announcement came out in May, but it was released in June. I don't remember exactly, but we'll just say the whole thing here just basically is compatible with Diamond and Pearl and Arceus, plain and simple.
Makes sense.
I think they also said that originally Diamond and Pearl was just going to be 2 Pokemon Home and you can't send it back. It's fully compatible. Both games are.
Good.
Yeah. So that was the biggest thing I was worried about, but it's fully compatible. The only game that isn't fully compatible is Let's Go and Go, I think. So
that makes sense. Like Let's Go and Go, don't they like have their own kind of system, and they link with each other?
Kind of. Basically, you can send Pokemon from Go and Let's Go into Home, but you can't send it back.
Okay, you can't put them back.
Yeah,
okay, that makes sense.
So. Yeah, I think that's how it works.
Okay.
Cause it was a similar thing with the Virtual Console games with Bank, so you couldn't send them back.
I didn't know the what was it, the Gen 1 that was on 3DS were compatible with Home.
Yeah, no. So both Gen 1 and Gen 2 are compatible with Pokemon Home.
Sweet.
Or Pokemon Bank. Which I really hope that service lasts a while, because, who knows.
I'm sure it will.
Because that's what Black 2, White. Actually, no. It's all of the DS games, all of the 3DS games, and the Virtual Console games. So I don't know how long that's going to last, but, hope unless they port 3DS games to Switch, which I highly doubt.
The more you think about it, we're probably 2-3 years out from Black's remakes, and then technically we're going into Gen 6.
Yeah.
If they really want to remake Gen 6.
Yeah. I'm just more so because I'm more so worried about like the eShop closure. They said they're gonna make it free or whatever and downloadable at any time, but they just don't know. I don't know how long after that it's gonna last, because it's a subsidiary to Home now, so I don't know.
I'm sure they'll think of a new solution or something if something changes.
I mean, I still fully expect Game Boy and Game Boy Advance, but maybe they're compatible, which there's a small chance.
My stance is the Pokemon Company is very tone deaf, but they do understand that they need to keep services like this active.
Yeah, because originally they had like some kind of mini game or gimmick between generations. And now, since it's just like a service, I don't know. It's going to be interesting moving forward.
Well, the eShops close next May, next June?
Yeah, something like
March
that.
Or somewhere around there. Yeah, so I'm sure by that point they'll be into Gen 9. We'll hear something about it if anything's changing.
Yeah. All right. Next up is Mario Strikers got a demo. Did you check out the demo?
I did actually. I didn't play in the tournament, but I went through the tutorial stuff.
Okay.
It was good. It plays very well. It's just, and then we'll go way more into detail next episode. It's lacking content.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. I'm not interested, so I did not play that.
That's fair. I'll give my more in-depth thoughts next episode because I did play it for 5-10ish hours so far, and
Yeah.
I've got things to say.
All right. Next up is there was an event that happened this month as well, which was the Indie World, which included Ooblets, Tabs, Gunbrella, Wayward Stand, and another Crab's Treasure were some of the highlights. So I think this was like
forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot about the Indie World besides the crab game and mini motorways, which I still haven't picked up on Switch because I cannot justify $15 for that game.
I didn't even remember this happening either because there just wasn't anything exciting in it. So
No.
especially because Silk Song, Fall Guys, and Omori were all separate events. So
Like we've been saying this for the better part of a year and a half, 2 years now. Silk Song is not small enough for an indie direct. It's gotten into full direct status, as we saw.
It's not even. It wasn't even in the full direct. It wasn't even on Nintendo.
We didn't have a full direct. But
well, it's still. I mean, I think it was in the partner showcase. I think there was a little snippet of it, but
I'll have to go back and look. I don't remember, but
it wasn't even at Nintendo's event, like at all. That's the funniest thing.
Microsoft for that though.
Yeah.
Well, unlike Nintendo, Microsoft actually had a big event in June.
Yeah.
That's none of my business.
All right. Next.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next up, all basic weapons are returning for Splatoon 3, which kind of negates my video that I've been working on because that's one of the things I asked about. But yeah, all basic weapons will be returning for Splatoon 3, which
makes sense. There was no reason to cut any weapon type going into 3.
In 2, the weapon types that were cut were like basically there was no reason to include them. They're like reskins, or maybe they changed like the stats of them and called it a different weapon, because like maybe it was like broken or something. But I don't know why. I guess I don't know. I've never played the original Splatoon, or I've never played competitively, so I wouldn't know like the specifics on it. But I mean, this is still great.
I'm of the mindset is I know everyone has their favorite weapons, and a lot of them are more diverse and different. But as long as each weapon type returns, I don't care what sub weapons and stuff they get.
Mm-hmm.
As long as I can play as the Brella, as long as I can play as the Dually, as the Roller, in addition to these new weapons, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, next up is Square. This is so funny and very timely. Square sells Tomb Raider and Western Studios towards NFTs, to buy NFTs.
It cracks me up that Square sold Tomb Raider when like a month or two prior they announced that I believe the same people that made the reboot trilogy are making another Tomb Raider game.
Crystal Dynamics?
Yeah, Crystal Dynamics, thank you. And they're working on a new game. It probably won't be out for 3-4 years, but they announced that, and now they're just going to be like, Square's doesn't care about their IPs. They'd rather sell them to fuel this new venture.
Not even. They're selling it to basically nothing because it's non-existent now, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. I don't understand that mindset.
I don't want to name their name on podcast, but I had someone who invested a lot of money into that stuff because that's what he does. He invests in a lot of different things, and he owned a bunch of properties.
Right.
And he invested in NFTs because that was like the next big money venture, and he lost a lot of money, and because of that, he had to sell all the properties that he had, which, you know, following him, he had a lot of potential with the properties that he had, and from what I've heard, he just dropped them all because of NFTs, so Square is not making a good decision here, I can say that.
No, I don't understand what's going on with it, frankly.
And honestly, you know what? I think this... Well, I say that, but Nier is also a Square property too, but I was going to say that maybe that's why they cut costs with Kingdom Hearts, but that doesn't explain Crisis Core or Nier. So
Hold on, you cut out on me for some reason. Yeah, just a little bit.
Those apples, you don't like those apples, bad
Yeah.
apples. All right. So I am echoing a little bit though. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just saying I am echoing a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All I was saying was that I don't know if they made Kingdom Hearts Cloud to cut back on costs because of the NFTs, or I don't know, but
Yeah, it makes no sense to me at all. I don't know why they tried so little.
yeah. All right, next up we got a teaser for Sonic Prime, which was absolutely a teaser, just Sonic running, and that's it. I thought I'd mention that because I'm actually kind of interested in this, not Frontiers at all. So
Frontiers looks good. I just don't understand what they're trying to accomplish with it. Like they're trying to have its
yeah.
big Breath of the Wild moment, but it's just not. You have got to be kidding me here. You have got to be kidding me here.
Finally, it's not my fault.
Will Discord crap out again? I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's fun. I don't know. It looks the world in Frontiers looks just kind of bland. I'm like not even interested, obviously, because I'm a Sonic hater. But the show looks interesting.
I like 2D Sonic. That's my thing.
Yeah, which I guess you'll like next month then, if something comes out.
That I still haven't picked up, but yes.
So next up, the Switch beats the 3DS in sales in Japan and the PS4 in the US, which cool. I think 3DS was definitely a high seller, so
3DS was about 25 million in Japan.
okay.
And I think the Switch is at 25.5, 26 million at present day. So it's doing pretty good.
Yeah. And
it needs like 5 or 6 more million to hit the DS numbers in Japan.
Okay. So we have about we still have three more years of the Switch, roughly, hopefully.
I'm gonna say roughly 2 years. I think it'll be holiday 24, but
well, I mean, we might get a new console, but I fully expect Nintendo to have a little bit of support going into 2025.
That's fair. Okay. I can agree to that. Like, I think we're gonna sell another 15, 20. That's their prediction for this fiscal year. They have a Pokemon game coming out. They have Splatoon, other stuff. They're gonna have Zelda next spring. I think it's possible that it reaches PS2 numbers, but I say that constantly.
And something that no one really talks about when speculating is what they could have done is maybe would have been like, oh, let's make a 4K Switch internally, and then they're like, well, this isn't gonna come out anytime soon. We're still working on it. Let's just call it the Switch 2. And then maybe work on like the OLED and the Switch Lite OLED in the meanwhile.
I fully believe that we were gonna get a big 4K upgrade. It has been rumored since 2019, 2018.
Yeah. And I'm sure there is a 4K Switch somewhere in the world, but
I have a feeling that because of the chip shortage and stuff like that, because of COVID, they put that on the back burner. They said, hey, we've already ordered these screens. Let's make it an OLED model. Let's cut back on some of the features we wanted to add, and let's save those features for 3-4 years down the road, and we'll just release our next gen system.
Right now, currently at the day of recording this, I fully believe that there is a 4K Switch out there, but they don't want to put it to market, and they might change it to just literally just call it something else.
That's fair.
Even though it looks like a Switch, they'll just call it something else, or the Switch
We'll talk about this next episode, but Nintendo has spent a lot of money on raw items for their consoles. Mm-hmm. So something's happening within the next fiscal year, whether that be just stockpiling stuff for just in case the chip shortage doesn't get better, or if they're going to start mass producing a new model or something.
Yeah.
Something's happening.
For sure. All right. Next up is the Wii U eShop are now not taking debit cards anymore. So
Yeah.
as of May, that's it. You're done. And I still have a few more purchases to make, so I guess I'm buying eShop cards off Amazon. Woo!
I'm at the point right now where I have all the 3DS stuff I really need to have.
I mean, there's always still physical stuff too.
Yeah.
So.
And as for Wii U, I'm actively waiting for less games to come to the system and come to Switch. Like,
yeah.
I want a reason. I'm gonna keep my Wii U. I'm not gonna sell it, but I don't want any reason to go back to it besides maybe like a virtual console here and there.
Yeah. Fair enough. Next up is there's a Multiverses trailer. I think it's just like the launch trailer, like the last trailer before it comes out. I think, as well as an open beta. I didn't remember. I didn't watch it, so. I
haven't been paying attention to it after basically the announcement trailer.
Okay.
It looks good, just not exactly. I'm not exactly a fighting game guy outside of Smash Bros. And like very light Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Next up, Fall Guys got the free for all trailer, to be released in June. But now the game is leaving Steam, moving to Epic, and then being added to the Switch and Xbox stores, and it's officially free. And if you paid for the game originally, you can get the first season pass for free, as well as a special Legacy Pack DLC, which also, apparently, fuck me specifically, because I didn't get those things, even though I bought it last year, so.
That's BS.
Yeah, not fair. I think it's because I started it, or I signed into my account on Switch first, before or updated it on my Switch first before I updated it on Steam, so I might have screwed myself over in that way, but that's not fair.
Still, it shouldn't be that, like, anti-consumer, I guess.
Yeah, they need it. I tried reaching out to them. Maybe some way they'll reach back and give me something, but the problem is, I think I might have also screwed myself into another corner because I bought the season pass anyway, so.
No, I never got into Fall Guys when it first came to PC and PlayStation, so I'm finally happy to see it coming to Xbox and especially Switch. Happy it's going free to play. A little worried about how far they're going to push the microtransactions and stuff, but time will tell on that.
They literally replaced the system with Epic system, so it literally looks like Fortnite, like literally word for word, like Showbucks, V-Bucks, like it's literally the same thing. In fact, there's an event going on right now called Crown Games or something that's a 3-way crossover between Fortnite, Fall Guys, and Rocket League. So
Jesus,
they're literally the same infrastructure. So
yeah,
honestly, I'm not surprised. I'm honestly surprised that Among Us isn't among them. Funny, but because I think Epic Games is kind of like helping them a little bit internally, but their system is actually, I think their system's fucked up right now. It's like it's not working very well. Like their online infrastructure as well as the whole account thing that they're trying to do. I'm thinking that probably Epic will get full integration once VR comes out, but anyway, it's still I'm finally understanding why kids keep asking their parents for V-Bucks. I literally I ran out of money, and like I recently got paid finally after so long, but I begged my friend to buy me the Halo skin. I literally couldn't resist.
I have a weird dilemma when it comes to these free-to-play games, because obviously I appreciate and recognize these games are free.
Yeah.
But I have the hardest time convincing myself to pull the trigger and spend money on them.
Yes, most of the time, yeah, I would agree with you, but I don't know why Fall Guys actually finally made me buy something in a free-to-play game.
I really want the season pass because it really gets on my nerves when I keep leveling up and
not getting anything.
75% of the things I'm unlocking I don't get.
Yeah. Well, what's cool is that all the important, or like not important, well, like for example, the Halo cat ears thing, that was free. You don't need the season pass for that, so or you didn't need it.
You just had to put time into the mode.
Yeah. So I think there's a good balance. There's some good items for free, some not. Fortnite, they will literally ask for your money out the gate. So at least there's that with Fall Guys. You get a little something for for having it playing it for free. So I don't think it's that bad,
True.
but this is the first free to play game where I actually wanted to spend money. So
That's fair. I'll talk more in depth about my experience with Fall Guys in the next episode, but so far so good.
hmm
I'm not upset like about how it performs or anything. Obviously, it's free, but we'll see what happens as time progresses if they get a little too stingy with their monetization practices.
yeah, I mean, leave it to Epic, but probably not.
Yes, exactly.
Next up is Ugly Sonic was in Chip and Dale. It was actually a great movie. I loved it through and through.
I haven't seen it, but I've kept hearing such good things. It's on my watch list.
Yeah, but there's more than just Ugly Sonic. There's pieces of Sora lying around, Keyblades, hair,
Hmm.
tons of little references from across animation, not just Disney. There's some Nickelodeon references in there, some other
Nice.
properties in there. It's very subtle, but it was a great movie. So
Nice. I'll have to watch it soon.
yeah, it's great. Next up, and Ugly Sonic's like a main character, kind of like a main character. So be warned.
I'm surprised they pulled that off.
Yeah. Well, I think. I think they have partial rights to Sonic because of Wreck-It Ralph. So
Oh,
yeah,
that makes sense.
yeah. So I don't know how it works internally, but I think it's just a small relationship with Sega. So who knows?
Yeah, I'm sure Sega was open to it, especially because it is the ugly version they never used. It'd be
Yeah.
a funny gag. It gets both of them some good recognition.
Well, it's not just Sega that did the ugly Sonic design. It's Paramount. Paramount
Paramount,
is who
yeah,
you need to worry about. So
yeah,
or Viacom, I guess. But
right.
next up, Fire Emblem Three Hopes or Warriors Three Hopes had a couple of trailers released. I think talking about the different routes that you can take. I don't know if you've seen those. If you want to take over for that.
It's I'm very happy to see that basically every student and then some is playable in this game because it's equaling out to about like 40, 45 characters or something like that.
hmm
So it's very impressive for a Warriors game because I mean, Hyrule Warriors and Age of Calamity really basically capped out at like 30 characters.
hmm
So seeing that they're putting such a focus on the narrative and still getting all these characters into one game. Yeah, a lot of them will probably have similar classes and stuff like that, but it's nice to see that we're getting more content than I don't even remember how many characters were in the original Fire Emblem Warriors because
hmm
I don't think anyone played it. But
Are you interested in this game? Did you play Three Houses?
I did play Three Houses. I liked it a lot. I do have Three Hopes in my collection right now. I haven't gotten to it yet because A,
It's a
my
Warriors
partner's
game.
huge into Warriors games, so he's playing through it first, and B, I apparently the day before the game came out, I decided to start playing Hyper Warriors Definitive again,
Hmm.
and I'm hooked on that right now. So
Yeah.
I am absolutely gonna play it at some point, just maybe not anytime super soon.
All right. Fair enough. Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know anything about Fire Emblem. Anything about the Three Houses universe. What I do know is apparently Byleth's the villain in this game. So
Yeah,
that'll be
they
interesting.
actually
And
did
both
that little
male
turnaround.
and female are apparently canon to this story. So it's kind of weird.
I mean, it's just the gender, I guess. It was the same way in Three
No,
Houses.
I
You
think
could just
both characters are separate entities, as far as I
I
know.
don't think so. I could be wrong on that, but I know when you start the game, you pick male or female Shez and male or female Byleth.
Oh, okay. That's so weird. I don't know. Um, Next up is the Wii eShop is still down. Well, that's not true anymore, but as of today, literally. But
Yes.
as far as the news goes, last month it was still down, so that means it was pretty much down for 2 months, I believe, or yeah, 2 months, 3 months.
I can't believe that I get it. I'm surprised they brought it back up for one
Yeah,
thing, but I can't believe they just let it just go down like that, acting like it's no big deal.
yeah. I mean, the biggest issue. I don't know who the fuck wants to re-download games from the from the Wii Shop, but I think the biggest deal is that they just need to bring, because they're missing out on content now
Yeah.
because the Wii U eShop is down. Like, I wouldn't be upset if there wasn't like interesting content on there. I mean, for me, I'm never gonna get them because you can't buy them anyway. But for those that want to re-download at least the unique experience on there, they still can, or they weren't able to for a short time. And again, the biggest issue is I don't know how easy it is for them to just port the Wii U eShop to the Switch, or the Wii Shop to the Switch. I don't know if that's a thing that they could do, but if they did, it would save them money, because
they could. I don't think they're going to.
It would save them money, so they can just completely shut down the servers, and at that point they can just allow people to play the unique experiences on the Switch.
They're shut them down completely regardless at some point.
Yeah.
This is the scary part of especially these earlier digital marketplaces, like the Wii Shop, the
DSi.
old Xbox and PlayStation shops. Although they've done a lot more to preserve old purchases. Nintendo and the Wii, the 3DS, and now we're seeing the Wii U era. You can't push these forward onto your new system. It's going to be one day you can't make purchases on these. 10 years down the road, you're not going to be able to re-download. And then you'll have all those downloads on your system, but if something happens to your system and you can't transfer stuff, you lost it.
Yeah. I think Xbox is doing the best out of all three of them, because I'm pretty sure it's the same system that they've used since the original Xbox, because you can play.
I believe that.
You can re-download old purchases if you have the same account, because I'm pretty sure it's just the Microsoft account. On top of that, XBLA stuff is still available on the Xbox Series store, so that's, kind of crazy.
Xbox is doing the best at this because they, first and foremost, are a technology company.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they saw this coming before anyone did, especially Nintendo. Nintendo is always the back of the pack when stuff like this is happening.
And the biggest thing, too, basically the store is their platform now, putting into account xCloud and Game Pass, so they've got it in the bag. Nintendo, on the other hand, they didn't know what they're doing. They just kind of like, oh, everyone else is making a shop. Let's just make the Wii Shop and add WiiWare games. They also probably didn't expect the WiiWare games to be good either. So, for people to like them. I saw
it as a way of placing some older content for people to buy if they really wanted to, and then as they saw Xbox 360 and PS3 really expand on their services and make digital more of a prevalent and frankly a lucrative market, they realize, oh hey, we have to get on this, but now we're 4 or 5 years behind the curve.
Yeah. And I don't know how they can't just pull an Xbox and do the same with the 3DS and Wii U shops and just put them on the Switch either. So that's the other thing too. It's it should just be able to.
The thing is, at least with the 3DS, it gets messy because you're trying to put completely different games onto a system that doesn't. Xbox has never had a portable.
Yeah.
And PlayStation, with their portables, they're easier to transfer onto a home console experience because they were always one screen, kind of straightforward.
The gimmick for the Vita was the back touchpad and the cameras, which are both in the PS5 currently. So
exactly. The issue comes along, especially with DS and 3DS games, is that we've seen Nintendo bring DS games to the Wii U with Virtual Console. They don't play well.
Yeah.
And that's not their fault. It's a completely different type of system. But Wii U, I think they could absolutely do what we're talking about here, but they'd rather resell us these popular games.
Yeah.
And I can't fully blame them because the Wii U was such a failure.
Yeah.
You want to get a bigger return on investment.
Yeah. I think
it's crappy for us, but it makes them money.
I think the two biggest issues here are, one, they basically every single time they wanted to quote unquote push the industry by making some sort of gimmick, they basically screwed themselves from any sort of longevity with those games. And number two, if I honestly I don't know how it's not inherent, hell, even all the way back in during the SNES era, how it wasn't inherent for backwards compatibility to be a huge thing, to where every future generation of console, you should be able to play everything from the back catalog behind. That should have been
Yeah,
innate from day one, regardless of downloads.
absolutely.
Even if they change the system, kind of like Pokemon, where they changed the transferring system. If they change the system to all digital, those games should have been purchasable from day one and continuing from that day forth instead of pushing the restart button and calling it Nintendo Switch Online or
Well, I
something.
think Nintendo now, especially, they can't make that mistake again.
Hmm.
We cannot enter in the next system. We're hoping it's the Switch 2, but who knows with Nintendo? They might take a different path. That'd be really stupid of them.
Hmm.
But we cannot approach launch day with this next system and have our Switch games not be backwards compatible.
Oh no,
We
I'm
NSO
100%.
NSO cannot restart.
I think that their NSO. I don't think it will because
It can't.
I am 98% sure that whatever this Switch 2 is, regardless if it's a hybrid or not, it will have the same Nintendo Switch infrastructure. I don't know if it'll have the same menus, but it will.
It
It will.
probably won't, but
I'm talking digital infrastructure. I'm talking about they will
right.
either it will either be like an Xbox Series type thing, or it will have the same eShop. It'll have the same. It'll have maybe the same cartridges. Who knows? Maybe they'll just go to discs and cartridges. Who knows?
The reason why I think we're sticking with the cartridges, why we're sticking with NSO and stuff like that is, for one thing, it's called Nintendo Switch Online.
Yeah.
I think they're not going to want to restart that. And two, back in 2017 when the Switch was launching, they made it a big thing to set up our Nintendo accounts.
Hmm.
Like they want our purchases to be linked. I think they realize that they cannot screw us over again.
Yeah. You're kind of turning into a robot again. I
Try this again.
it yeah, it's not really working. But oh, I think you're clearing up maybe. I don't know.
Um, okay, let's try to get to the end of this before it crashes out again.
Okay. Well, I was just going to say that I think they fucked up with the jump from Wii U to Switch, and I think they're trying to catch up, and once we get into the new console, they'll probably stick with this or refine it
I
to
agree.
be a little bit more general rather than like Nintendo Switch Online. I think they realize their fault, and I think they're just kind of try to make it consistent going forward. So that's what I was gonna say.
Agreed.
All right. Next up, Breath of the Wild memory change. So apparently there's a memory in the game where if you take a picture of a picture, Link will look at that picture and during the memory, or if you don't take the picture of the picture, you won't look at the memory. So cool. I don't know what that
I
means.
love that over 5 years later, we're still finding new stuff about this game.
Yeah. Next up is the biggest issue about Nintendo is that the DP sound library got shut down for no fucking reason.
I mean, didn't they say it was going to be a limited time thing when they
No,
launched it?
no, they
I
didn't.
thought they did.
No, they didn't.
Yikes.
So the fact that they just took it away from us, and because they're literally the only like you can't even down. I think wait, were you able to download them? I can't remember for
I
offline
can't
use.
remember either.
But no, it's so stupid.
I
Just
wish.
literally
I
all you need to
wish
do is create a
Nintendo.
Spotify Nintendo account, have playlists depending on which game or franchise you have. It's simple. It's easy money. Hell,
They
you
would
can even
make so much money off of it.
you can
Literally,
even
I went on I went on Apple Music last night, and I was looking for a specific album, and there's the freaking Cuphead DLC
yeah.
album right there. I'm like, I didn't even know that was out.
Yeah, literally, they can even ask Spotify saying, "Hey, charge them more money to listen to our music." They could do that, and people will probably be upset, but they could still do that. I'm sure Spotify will work something out with them.
I
Like,
fully believe this is something Nintendo of America have tried doing, but Japan just will not allow it.
do they not like listening to music? Like, I don't.
I think they believe it's kind of like the Sakurai Smash Brawl cutscene kind of thing. I
Mm,
think they believe if you can listen to the music somewhere else, that you might be less likely to buy and or play the game.
which makes no sense
The
whatsoever.
music doesn't have
but
anything to do with the actual game itself.
It's part of the experience. That's
I mean,
what I think their mindset is.
Okay, if that's the mindset, put a fucking music player in your games, because hell, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 doesn't have a music player either. I think the only Mario game that has a music player.
Just connect your headphones to your Switch, put your Switch in your bag, and you can listen to Smash Bros. Music anywhere you go.
God, the only mainline Mario game that has like a music thing is All Stars, 3D All Stars. No other mainline game has. Oh, I think Odyssey does, but that's a new game. So
still, but yeah, I know what you mean.
And
I don't know, man.
Yeah, finally, DLC is coming to Mario Strikers. Woo. We don't know what the DLC is, but
see this one coming.
Yeah. And that's it for the news. Hylian is going to disconnect any second now. So, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching this kind of ragtag episode again. Every episode, there's a problem.
Oh, it's all good. It's our niche now.
Yeah. If I had a quarter for every time there was a Nintendo podcast YouTube channel that connection problems, I would have 2 quarters. It's not a lot, but it's funny it happened twice.
It's weird that it happened twice.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching.
We'll see you next time for our big non-E3 discussion that will include Nintendo not announcing first-party titles.
Woo! Well, kind of. Well,
right,
not announcing titles, but talking about it. Bye.